I'm Hannah Levasani, and I work in the cybersecurity program delivery team. So I've always had an interest in technology, even from quite a young age. I mean, I was always into PlayStations, playing games growing up. So it's really kind of, been at the fore for me. Tech has always captivated me. I needed a way into technology with a fine art degree background, which is not easy. Sky had been a company that I was absolutely, I want to use the word obsessed, but I was a big sports fan. I love TV, I love content. And so I discovered the technology graduate scheme. They accepted graduates with any degree discipline. So I thought, I've got a shot. I went for the interviews and got the role. And my tech journey started from there in earnest, because I had the backing of Sky to do some qualifications, to experience all different areas of technology within Sky. And I eventually settled in what was at the time the CTO office, so essentially doing projects and programs across the whole of technology, including this building that we're sitting in today. But I ended up working in the cybersecurity team, which is fantastic. I think what I find most rewarding is being able to sit down with the cybersecurity teams, understand what kind of tools and technologies they want to put into the business, and then actually making that happen, bringing it to life. So it's, in its idea, it's a product they've selected. Actually putting it in place and seeing the output is really rewarding. So Sky is amazing. It's, I don't need to describe it to my husband because he works here already. I would just say it's a really welcoming, diverse, embracing company, and it really supports you. There's enough here that if you want to try something new, a new role, you can move around. It's fully supportive. Even just coming in on a day-to-day basis, you walk through the campus, you feel fantastic, landscape gardens, the studio when you come in. So obviously I work in cybersecurity, and there's some incredible things on the horizon. Looking more at my program management role, there's, the way that we're working, the pandemic's obviously driven us much more towards a collaborative environment. There's so many tools and technologies that now bring us all together. We're doing hybrid working at the moment. We've got members of the team all over the country and actually all over the world now.
I'm Dino. That might not mean a lot, but hopefully it will mean something afterwards, because it's probably going to be a bit of an interesting ride. Who am I, first of all? I'm a techie, and I'm also a creative. So my techie bit, I used to be a games developer. I love electronics. I started kind of with Marconi back in the day, but I'm also a creative. That's my training. So I was an information designer and a cartoonist, musician, that sort of thing. So that's me attempting to draw a square peg in a round hole. I drew the entire of this, by the way. So if it's all copyright free, so it's all good. You can take pictures of it. I also work for Sky Labs, which means I help Sky innovate. You've heard a lot about that today. So I'm one of the cogs in that. And I also make stuff. And I made this monstrosity here. There's one extra little thing I'm going to switch on here. There we go. Excellent. So I made this in my garage. It took me 3 weeks to make. If you're interested, yes, there's an Arduino in the middle of this. It is noisy. It's 105 decibels because it's got a leaf blower I bought for 10 quid off eBay from a man in North London. It's got 3D printed stuff, stepper motors. It's got the whole gubbins in there. And I made some really big mistakes in there. I call them learning experiences. However, welcome to the machine. If this works, I'm expecting a round of applause at the end. Never do a live thing with children, animals, and bingo machines. So let's crack on. So how's this going to work? This is Buzzword Bingo. So it was really 3 of us in a room going, oh, we should call it bingo. And then all of this unfolded from that. So I'm going to choose, or I have chosen 20 words, Web3 words. I'm going to let the machine choose. It will make that big noise. I do apologize. And I will try to explain each one of those words in about 60 seconds. If you are a Web3 expert in the room, you'll probably be shaking your head going, it's not exactly how it is. I do apologize. However, that's how it's going to work. When the machine chooses a ball, somebody in the room will be furiously trying to lay out the slides, and that will be the slide that comes up. So there'll be some magic in the background. However, you might also notice you have bingo cards. That is the card. If you've never heard of bingo, it's dead easy. What happens is I will call out the thing, in this case 4. I will call out 4. Any golfers in the room, don't duck. But basically, I will call out 4. Look on your sheet. If you have a 4, mark it off. There are 20 numbers. If you end up ticking off the 20th number on your sheet, you are the winner, okay? There are several potentials in the room to win. You'll want you to stand up and shout bingo, okay? And you are therefore the winner. What will you win? Of course, you're going to win an NFT, okay? So you are going to win. You're going to be a horse owner at the end of the day if you win this. So you're going to win an NFT of a horse. So this is Zedrun. This is an online Web3 infused horse training and racing game, okay? So this, quite frankly, I only chose it because it was a mystical sky. This is like one of the worst horses and the cheapest horses I could get. However, come and see me afterwards. I will transfer this to you if you give me your wallet address. If that means nothing to you, then you're in the right place. That's good. So let's talk about Web3. But what on earth is Web3 to get started? Web 1, 25 years ago, something like that. It was information focused. It was basically hyperlinked. It's that old kind of Wikipedia kind of world. Then we went into Web 2. We're still kind of in Web 2 right now. Everything is data focused. Everything is centralized. It's a bit opaque. Data is the commodity. So you've got the likes of YouTube, Facebook. It's all centrally governed and a little bit behind the closed doors. Web 3, as we're calling it, is user focused, putting the data back in your hands. And also it is decentralized. Now, all these are words I will hopefully explain if they're meaning nothing to you right now. I should also explain that actually Web3, if we are talking about the next chunk of the internet, there's a bunch of other stuff in it that isn't really coined Web3. So we've got privacy, machine learning, generative algorithms. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the blockchain-infused, decentralized stuff, okay? Make sense? Good. Right, here's an example. You wander into a bar, probably in Shoreditch, Dalston maybe, and you hear this is what they're going to say, right? Whoa, crazy right now. So gas is crazy, okay? We're waiting for POS to hit the Ethereum mainnet before launching my DeFi dApp, okay? Perfectly plausible. You think, oh, what? So you wander down the bar, you then go, oh, great news, my DAO smart contract rule passed. So now we get duplicate NFTs on our testnet wallets too. Result. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, sorry, what? 35 minutes time, I assure you that will make sense, okay? Cool. That's my promise to you. If you've got some sound up, there is some crazy theme show music. Nice. Okay, so we're going to choose the ball. Are you ready? The first ball is number 11. If you have 11, mark it off on your sheet. 11, yes! It worked, brilliant. Decentralized, so this is going to be one of the key words. Let's get this one out of the way. So decentralized, I've written little descriptions. Decisions and actions that aren't controlled centrally. Decentralized. And I'm going to keep this really, really simple. So this is centralized, big blobby thing in the middle. That's the opaque thing where all of those databases sit. You don't know what goes on in there. You're just the bits on the outside. That is centralized decisions, sometimes how businesses work. And this is decentralized. It's not like everything is connected. It's just that you have local autonomy over local rules. Okay? So that's decentralized. It's not the first one. That's what decentralized is. You might get also this one, which is distributed. So if you've ever seen sort of peer-to-peer sharing networks, that's sometimes what is seen there. And when we talk about Web3, it's kind of a mix of the last two, really, when we say decentralized. But really, you take away from this, it's not the first one, okay? Decentralized. And that's how it's going to work. It's going to be that quick, okay? Let's choose another one. $27. That's 27. I don't know what that is in bingo calling, but 27. Hey, blockchain, another big one. Okay, what is a blockchain? It's a secure chain of connected, unchangeable data blocks. And you'll get how simple my talk is going to be today. Look, it's blocks in a chain. But what are the blocks? It's essentially like database. You think like an Excel spreadsheet, that's kind of what they are, but you can't change them. Okay, so let's have a look at an example. You go to a cryptocurrency site, you want to do something on the blockchain. Okay, so you do that. Nobody owns any of this technology. It's decentralized. So how do you check what you're doing is legit? Well, you send it to a bunch of other people who say, well, we're here for you. You need to pay us a little bit of money, but we'll do it for you. You send it to a bunch of people. They go, yeah, it's legit. Seem to have the currency. Site checks out. All that's good. OK, yeah, verified. It's all good. OK, so then we need to put that on the blockchain. We'll just mark it as done. OK, blockchains are actually, or blocks are pretty big. So lots of other people are stuffing stuff into that block. When it's full, you stick it on the front of the chain, okay? And that's it. So, and once you've done that, you can't change it. So it's sometimes called an immutable ledger. So as time goes on, you just keep adding more and more things to it. You can refer back to things, but you can't go and change anything in that block. It's a chain of blocks. Okay, cool. There we go. Next one. Third one, weirdly, is number 3. Number 3. If you have number 3, I'll have number 3. Number 3, Ethereum. Okay, cool. It's a bit like Bitcoin, but a lot smarter and a bit more useful. If you work for Bitcoin, whatever that means, I do apologize, but that's how I see it. So I'm going to talk about Ethereum quite a lot with a lot of these, because a lot of the new version of Web3 is on the Ethereum blockchain. So this is Bitcoin. You might have heard of Bitcoin. It has a blockchain. If you do one of those verification things and you stick it in a block, it's a bit like PowerPoint. You've got that notes thing underneath. You can put some notes in it, but that's pretty much it. You can put some links in it maybe, but you can put some dumb stuff onto the blockchain. It doesn't really do much. The Ethereum is awesome because you can actually write code into that bit, and it will run that code as well. So you can actually run programs on the blocks of Ethereum. It is much smarter. That allows it to be more, that's what we call high utility. You can do stuff with it. So these are some of the things. I won't explain these now. Hopefully they'll come up. But you've got smart contracts, NFTs. You've all heard of those things. And then you've got these entire industries which you can start to revolutionize, like decentralized finance. That's what DeFi means. Hopefully that will come up. The other thing I'll explain about Ethereum is how it verifies things. So currently, nearly every blockchain, except for a few sort of newer ones, use proof of work. Now, this is that gnarly thing where, you know, Bitcoin uses the energy output of Belgium to do all the things. You go, what? Okay, and hopefully I'll explain that as well. But basically, that's proof of work. You do gnarly work to verify everything. They're moving to proof of stake, which is a much more efficient way of doing it. So it'll be faster, cheaper, and more efficient. So think of Ethereum as the kind of the young, sort of nimble upstart version of Bitcoin. All good? Excellent. New ball. Excellent. Ball number 16. 1 and 6. 16. I've never been to bingo in my life. Fungible is that word. Okay, this is a really complicated word that actually stands for a really complicated word that is really simple. So the fungible is really interchangeability, which just means it's the same, okay? So that's what fungible is. It's interchangeable. A coin, a pound, a dollar, a euro, is interchangeable. You've got a pound and a pound, it's interchangeable. It is fungible. I don't know why we've called it that, but it's fungible. This is jargon, I guess. However, Bitcoin, you can change a Bitcoin for Bitcoin. It is a fungible coin. If you want something that is non-fungible, it is not the same. You might have 2 children. You still have children, but they are not the same, okay? They might look the same, but they're all subtly different. You cannot interchange them. So you've got an image or an audio file. Those are non-fungible. So if you created a token that is unique, and that's why they're interesting to collect and sell, because they are unique. Those are non-fungible tokens. They are unique tokens. There you go, a bit like paintings or whatever. All good? Non-fungible tokens. Right, heads down. Next ball. Okie dokie, we have ball number 36. 36 is a wallet, okay? So this is a wallet. It sounds like what you might have in your pocket, and it's almost exactly the same. So imagine what you've got in your wallet right now. You might have a Costa coffee card or whatever. You might have your holiday money you might have left over. You might have dollars. You might have some pounds in there. You've got some currency in there, maybe some different types. Maybe you've got your driver's license in there. Maybe you've got a few sort of, membership cards to certain things. That's what you have in your wallet. This stuff does not sit on the blockchain. This is just like a relatively normal thing. You can download one of these wallets. You can go onto the internet and find one. So those are what are called hot and cold. If your wallet is in the cloud, it is a hot wallet, possibly a little bit more dodgy because it might get hacked. If you have a cold wallet, it's probably on your desktop, or you might even just write it in a piece of paper. That is a really cold wallet. But if you have a house fire, not so great. So that's a wallet. It's a bit like those password apps you might have on your phone. That is a wallet. You can go places and sign up to them. What it really does is it is your portal to Web3 experiences. So if you wanted to log on to the Bingoverse, they're not going to ask for your centralized data to own it. They want to go, okay, can you connect your wallet so we know that you're legit, you've got some cryptocurrency to maybe buy a bingo game. And if you do win, we'll put those little things into your wallet. That's all it does. It really connects you to all of these experiences. If you don't have a wallet, then you don't really get access to Web3. It's as simple as that. So get a wallet. If you do win the NFT, you will need a wallet to own that horse. There you go, and that is what a wallet is. There you go. Next one. Okay, ball number 23. That's 23, smart contracts. So we heard that at the beginning. I glossed over it a little bit. What is a smart contract? It's a contract that can run code to make decisions. It's like a smart contract. So it's not a trick. So basically, this is an old contract. I have to read this somewhere. Here we go. Clause 2.1.4, you might have this in your travel insurance. If your flight is delayed, call the helpline for a refund. What a load of faff. That's an old contract, okay? So what is a smart contract? Well, can you just check the flight? You already know I paid for the flight, so you've got my details. Can you just check in if it's late? Just refund me the difference. You go, what a smart contract. And that's all it is. So that bit at the beginning where you can write code and it can execute code on the blockchain, you just put a couple of clauses in there, call it a contract, a smart contract, and it's looking for those situations to execute. That's all it is, a smart contract. Simple. Cool. Okay, next ball. That was quicker than the last one, wasn't it? Okay, 42. 42, the meaning of life. 42. Okay, 42 is proof of work / proof of stake. So we mentioned this before. I said I might describe it, and I will do. So this is ways to verify blockchain transactions are legitimate. We say legit on the street, obviously. So why do we need this? So imagine that thing. Nobody owns Web3. It's all hosted by people. They're verifying stuff for you. You need to go, well, we need a new block on the blockchain. There's some work that needs to be done. You go, but if we're going to pay them a little bit of money for doing that, what's to stop everybody doing it? You go, let's slow them down. So that if we need a new block or a new verification every 5 minutes, let's give them a bunch of work to do. So let's give them a really hard sum to do. And that's proof of work. Okay, so you go, is this legit? Can we do it? Yeah, it is. How long is it going to take? Oh, I don't know. There's got a really big sum to do. That is proof of work. So you might have seen those pictures of video cards usually churning through the kind of domestic energy product of Belgium and all of that sort. And that's why Bitcoin is really bad for the planet, is because everybody's verifying everything by just doing an arbitrary sum that gets harder and harder and harder. The more people who want to do the sums, they go, look, there's too many people. We need to slow them down even more. The sum gets harder and harder and harder. That's why this little person at the end who you got 4 years ago was like, I'm mining Bitcoin on my toaster. Not a chance these days. You need piles and piles of video cards, okay? Proof of stake works very differently. I'll stake a bunch of my tokens, but if I do anything fraudulent and I don't do it correctly, you take some of my tokens away. The more tokens I put up, the more chance I've got of actually verifying one of these transactions. So it goes to one person to do it, or 20 or whatever it's needed, but it's really, really efficient. It's about 1,000 times more energy efficient on sort of recent studies, but also it's cheaper and it's quicker and it's more efficient. So that's what proof of stake is, POS. There's also proof of authentication, but I won't go into that because it's a bit more complicated. Next ball. Heads down, I guess. Oh yes, still working. 7, Verashim's number. I'm making these up as I go along. Mint, you might have heard mint, minting a thing. Okay, the act of creating a token on a blockchain. I'm going to be quite strict about this one. Minting is a specific part of that process. So you might hear it used a bunch of places, but really it's about one part of it. So let's look at an NFT, that unique token. Like we want to create a unique token. We've got an asset. I've drawn a cactus cat. I actually did look it up, and there is also an NFT called Cactus Cat, and I was like, damn it, I've already drawn it. However, it might be an image, it might be an audio file, it could be anything, okay? So you've drawn a thing, maybe you already own a thing, you mint a token. Now there is some token code, you go, I'd like this to be referenced as a token, I'm just gonna write like what it is, where it is, how much it is, and I'll put that as an NFT piece of code on the blockchain, right? So that is creating a token. There's a way you do that, and there's a format to it, but that is a token. You've created your unique token. Really, with an NFT, you then attach a contract to that. Okay, so what wallet is it attached to? Is there anything special that happens if you do sell it on? Does it give you a 10% kickback, whatever it is? And you stick all of that on the blockchain. Really, what we're talking about in minting is kind of that second step there. You mint a token. You can write a contract, but you mint a token. There you go. Cool. So it's really, really simple. It's just the act of making a token on the blockchain. Okay, next one. Ah, yes. This only has to work once, this machine. 15, 1 and 5, half of 30, 15. I'm running out of things there. Okay, 15, DeFi, decentralized finance. So decentralized finance is not institutional banking. Okay, so this is an entire industry that can be supercharged and or subverted using Web3. So in traditional world, person 1 needs to send some money to person 2 through their bank. How does that happen? Swift, IBAN, it might take a minute, it might take a second, it might be your investments you're trying to transfer and somebody else needs to sign it, and you might need a BACS number. It's almost exactly that diagram we did earlier, the centralized diagram. So nobody knows, it's opaque. That is institutional banking. Other people own the keys to this. Of course it's decentralized, because that's what DeFi stands for. So person one needs to send some cryptocurrency, which isn't centrally owned by anybody. It's not going to be verified by anybody. So they need to get some chums involved, that proof of stake, proof of work kind of network. You connect them all together, you fire it up onto the blockchain so everybody can see what's going on. Of course, this person goes, yeah, that checks out. You seem to have the money, you seem to have the cryptocurrency, you've got a wallet, they've got a wallet, we know what we're doing. Awesome, great. That's now peer-to-peer finance. You've now transferred some tokens to somebody else not using an institutional bank. And you can do some interesting stuff with it as well. There's risk involved in this as well. Liquidity pool is an interesting one. Liquidity, it basically means how much stuff have you got in your account, essentially, to do interesting stuff with. If you've got high liquidity, you can do some more interesting stuff with it. So what you do is you go, I've got some cryptocurrency, it's not doing much right now, the market's a little bit flat. So what I'll do is I'll sign a smart contract. And what I'll do is I'll give it to an exchange, I'll lend it. My smart contract says, in a week's time, I'll get the money back, but you can borrow it for a bit. That creates liquidity in a pool for that exchange to basically lend that to traders. If you've seen The Big Short, it's all that stuff, borrowing and trading, all that. So basically, after your contract expires in a week's time, you then get the money back with a little bit of a kickback to say thank you for doing that. That's a liquidity pool. Really difficult to do in institutional banking, not even sure how you do that, but something you can do with DeFi. Not without its risks, because it's a very unregulated market, but that is what DeFi is, decentralized finance. Okay, next ball. I'm smiling more and more. Number 9. Number 9 is a DApp. Hey, well done. I like that. Keep that going. Self-running applications that run on the blockchain. So we've peppered the target of this a little bit. So we mentioned there's code that can run. And how does a D app or a DApp change from a normal app? Well, a normal app, you've got these things in it. You maybe got a front end to it. You've got some logic running on that. It maybe goes through a server. There's maybe some more logic the other side of the server. It does stuff with your data. And then you've got a database. It stores your current state, where you were before, what the rest of everybody's doing, and maybe your user data is in there as well. It's all sort of chucked in there. And that's all the bits, really, of an app. I've really simplified it. I do apologize to any app developers in the room. If you have a DApp, it's exactly the same, but all the underpinnings of Web3 make you do it a lot easier because it's already sort of there. So where's your logic? Well, you can just write a smart contract. It will run the logic. Where's the database? Well, that's the blockchain. That's what it is, right? Okay, cool. So where do you do all that user story? Well, you've got a wallet. All of those are already set up, ready for you to do your digital app or decentralized app. And that sits and runs on the blockchain. You don't need to buy any servers because they're already running on the blockchain. Cool. So that is a decentralized app. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's probably what you need to know now. Okay, dApps. There you go. Cool. Let's do another one. Okay. 28s. Have we got 28s? 2 and 8s. 28. 28. I don't know. Okay, 28 is a DAO, a DAO. These are decentralized autonomous organizations. So it's quite fortuitous. It came after the last one because it is a good grounding for that. These are quite interesting. This is a normal organization, which is, okay, I'm the boss. This is how it works around here. These are the decisions we will make. And everybody goes, okay, cool. Okay, if you want to try something new, no, I'm the boss. This is how it works. Of course, a decentralized organization does it slightly different, more like a co-op. So I go, okay, we all have a stake and we vote on the new initiatives. That's what a lovely place that would be, right? But why is it autonomous? That's just a co-op. So what you do is you define your DAO. What's it going to be? Every time somebody uploads a butterfly to Reddit, we'll give some money to charity. Well, that sounds like a great thing. You've got a website, you've got a white paper, you can explain how you do it, why we're going to do it, which charity, that's great. You also have a smart contract. Those are the rules. So it says, look out for butterflies on Reddit and we'll donate some currency. Excellent, great. So everybody goes, I love that, that's great. So I'll sign up to that. I'm now a member of this organization. I love that. I get some tokens. Let's call them butterfly tokens. We've all got butterfly tokens now because we've signed up. Maybe we pay some cryptocurrency to be part of this organization, whatever. Somebody there's a crazy idea and says, well, what about moths? If somebody uploads a moth to Reddit, do we do that as well? Because they're sort of like butterflies. You go, well, that's a great initiative. So somebody then goes, right, new initiative, should we vote for this? This is your autonomous bit. Everybody then goes, oh, okay, new initiative. Everybody votes on it. If you've got tokens, you can vote. If you're not in the organization, you don't have tokens, you can't vote. Simple as that. If the vote goes through, it adds it to the smart contract as a rule. It is autonomous, and then you go right back to the beginning. You're now donating for moths and butterflies as your organisation because you all voted for it. Ta-da! DAOs. Okay, cool. Next one. We're getting there, we're getting there. 30, 3 and 0, 3 and 0, 30. Okay, 30. Divisible by 10. Meat space. Okay, this is probably the nastiest sounding slang you'll hear today. Meat space. What is meat space? Meat space. People in the room, you are in my meat space. You sometimes hear this on the forums. Have you met them in meat space though? Or are we going to meat space? You go, okay, what does that mean? It just means in real life, okay? Not the cyberspace, not online, meat space. All of you people watching this on the stream, you're in your own meat space. You're not in our meat space. Meat space. I do apologise, but I thought I'd tell you. There you go. Cool. Next. $32. Nice binary number there. 32 is gas. Let's say that again because it's fun to say. Gas. Okay, gas is the bounty fee paid to get blockchain transactions done. Now, we've sort of heard about these a few times, but gas is the fee. Okay, so this scenario where we bought something, somebody does some stuff in the middle for me, you go on their servers, on their computers that they bought, those video cards, whatever it is, and I get my monkey NFT, great. I need to pay for that middle bit because somebody's going to have to pay for it, and it's me because I want that work to do. So what I want doing is basically increased. So the gas fee will go up if I just want to transfer an NFT, £5, $5. If I want to set up a DAO with smart contracts and tokens, it might be £1,000. Okay, and it's also subject to supply and demand. So if at this time everybody's doing stuff on the blockchain for whatever reason, it's congested, that gas is going to cost you more for the same amount of processing. So when I bought the horse NFT, just to let you know, the gas was more than the horse. So there you go. Whoever's doing accounts and they're going to accept my expenses, good luck with that one. Anyway, so you can also set it. Maybe it's congested at the moment. You don't want to pay the high fees. So what you can actually set the gas as well. So you can actually say, I'm going to put low gas on this transaction. When the market calms down, it will go through probably. Or I need it done right now. I'm going to put a really high gas fee on it. Somebody's going to pick it up and somebody's go, that's going to glow red on the network and somebody's going to do it for you. So great, that is gas. If you hear gas, that's what it is. Okay, next ball. Okay, we're nearly there. 45. We're trying to think of motor racing people. 45. Somebody's got that. Anyway, good. 45 is hash. This is not the tasty potato snack. This is a digital fingerprint for data. There's two things about hashes. First of all, I should explain, you probably have a hash as well. It's in one of these things. So your fingerprint is kind of like a hash. It's a really good analogy. You have a fingerprint. It's unique to you. Your fingerprint isn't you. Like, there's much more to you than your fingerprint, but it is a good, and you can get into your phone on it, you can get into countries on it. It does two things for you. It is unique to you, more or less, but what it'll also do is if 100 people in a room have all given their fingerprint, and I have a fingerprint, I can get that fingerprint and go, it was person number 26. It's a shortcut to identifying where the person is. So basically it does two things. It's a way of making sure something is unique. A really good example of how it's used in passwords. So you rock up to a website, you type in your password or what you want your password to be, they hash your password, and they go, right, great, we'll store the hashed password, okay? You don't know what that is, and basically the next time you rock up, you type in your password again, they hash it again, they compare it to the hash, and they go, oh, it's the same thing. They never know your password. So that's what a hash can do for you. Data has a hash too, and it all goes through this thing called SHA 256. So secure hashing algorithm, 256 characters long, and that's what Web3 thinks is enough, which is probably fine. So 512 is a possibility, 128 is a possibility. There are algorithms that do that. The thing about it is you put stuff into it and you get a 256 character thing out of it. If you change anything about what you put in, it gives you a completely different thing. Kitten is exactly that. That is actually kitten run through SHA 256. Put an S on the end of it, completely different. And if you put war and peace in it, you'll get 256 characters. If you put one change, a comma for a full stop, completely different, okay? So they're really hard to crack. They will take thousands of years of a normal computer to crack, and why would you do it anyway? However, they're used everywhere. So they're used in Bitcoin transactions, they're used in NFTs, wallets. Even the blockchain, what they do is they take a little bit of one block and they encode it into the next one. So if you try and change one block, it will be reflected in the hash and it won't match, like we said with the password. So that's what a hash is. If you hear hashing, it can be used for two things. That is what a hash is. Nice. New ball. Okay. Oh, yes. Number 2, a duck. 2, swan, or something. There we go. Number 2, DYOR. You might have heard this on the forums. This is a key philosophy for surviving Web3, which basically means do your own research. So you will hear this at the bottom of nearly every post, which is, oh, there's a new DeFi thing coming out and you can earn 1,000%. There's a new cryptocurrency coming out. You should invest in it now. Somebody there will just go, it's only my opinion, DYOR. Do your own research. So also in a lot of things, do your own research. Don't fall or get hoodwinked by a lot of this stuff. Do your own research. That's all it is. Nice. Okay, next ball. Okay. 21, that is 21. A duck and a stick. 21. Mainnet and testnet. So it kind of says what it is actually in the title, but these are different levels of blockchain. So imagine the Ethereum blockchain. You go, hi, I'm an Ethereum blockchain. I'm a testnet. You can test things on me, great. And then the one next to it, you go, yeah, but I'm the mainnet. I'm the Ethereum mainnet, okay? So I'm the daddy of all of this, right? So you go, well, what makes you different? I have the VIP card. I have an ID of 1, literally an ID of 1. All the other test nets are made up, okay? You can test stuff on them. So gas, there's almost no fee for gas. You can do things instantly. If you created 1,000 monkey NFTs on a test net and rocked up to an exchange and go, I've got 1,000 monkey NFTs, I must be a billionaire. They'll go, yeah, if you look at all these, it's got an ID of 2 on every single one of these. It's monopoly money. It's not worth anything. So if you've got a DeFi dApp coming out, you test it on the test net, and when you're ready, you pull the levers and you transfer it over to the mainnet. That's all it is. There are lots of different ones for doing different stuff, but basically that's the difference between a mainnet and a testnet. Says it's in the name. Okay, here we go. Next one. Getting near the end now. Hopefully you got a lot of things on your thing. 31. Number 31. I have nothing to say about 31. A bit like a bee and another stick. Okay, ERC tokens. You might hear this phrase. It sounds a little bit weird, but these are standards for Ethereum tokens. What does ERC stand for? Annoyingly, it's a bit weird. It's Ethereum request for comment. So imagine you go, I need a standard. Does anybody want to put anything into the standard? I'll do a request for comment, and that sort of makes the standard. That's kind of what it means. The main token is called ERC20. So the standard ERC20, all it really means is if your application or whatever it is, your dApp uses ERC20 tokens, then it subscribes to a certain sort of layer of what's called an API. So you can ask of it all of these things to do. If you said, I'd like the total supply of my token, it will tell you the balance of the token. I'd like to transfer it. I'd like to transfer it from. All ERC20 tokens will allow you to do all of these. And there's a load of other things as well. So basically, this is the kind of the base token. This is what allowed NFTs to happen and all those sort of good things. Okay, but there are different tokens. Maybe this doesn't do everything you want. Maybe you have quite a specialist thing. So, and probably the second most interesting one, if it can ever be interesting, is ERC721, and that is more NFT specific. So there's a lot of good NFT stuff that just help you doing that. There's some weird ones in there. So ERC223, there was a sort of cranky thing that you could do with tokens, and if you slightly messed it up, you could lose your token in limbo forever. So they sort of fixed that. And there's also things like ERC1337, which allow recurring subscriptions, like you can do with magazines or whatever that, but on the blockchain. So there are lots and lots of ERC standards, but they all do slightly different things. There you go, ERC standards. Next ball. Okay, I think there's 3 left, so if you're slightly towards the end, you're doing well. 47, P2E. Slightly left field one here, but this is pay to earn. So this is play to earn. Now this is a type of game where you can earn rewards for a tangible value. This is not new to gaming, but Web3, if you do your game on a Web3 platform, it makes this a heck of a lot easier. So to do this, I will give you a whistle-stop tour of the business methodology behind earning stuff from games. So first of all, there was an arcade game. You put money in it. It's quite simple. Then there were consoles. You either bought the console or you bought the cartridge, probably from the same company. Then you actually had your own PC, so you only needed to buy the floppy disk or the DVD or the CD, whatever it might need to be. Then you probably had a subscription model. You either paid through the website with probably your parents' credit card number, or you went into shops and got those little cards and you scratched off and got your unique number. Then we had the social web, so Facebook, usually ad supported, all those things on Farmville, etc. And then you had premium mobile, so you had the free mobile, but then you had the premium 99p games, $2.99 games. That's how you made money then. And then you had the free-to-play, so that was the likes of Candy Crush, where you would actually have an in-game currency, where you could buy a booster, all that sort of stuff to make your game a lot easier to play. And that's pretty much what's left us onto this route to play to earn. So the play to earn, you go, yeah, we really like that free-to-play, but we want to actually give something back. All the Web3 stuff is there for us to make this happen. So here's a game loop. It's a little bit of an advanced game loop. You play a game, you earn some stuff, points, whatever it is. That allows you to upgrade. You get a different level, maybe a different weapon, a different hat, whatever it is. And ideally, you can trade those as well. So seeing that skins. Well, of course, you can earn tokens, NFTs, crypto. It's already built in. You don't have to program those again. And also, you can actually trade all via your wallet. I've got a thing. I've just earned it. It's in my wallet. I want to send it to somebody else. It's worth this much. It's all done, right? So basically, all it's doing is it's supercharging gaming, making a new business model available. There you go. So that's P2E, play to earn. Let's do a new one. Okay, 40. That's 40, stable coin. So this is slightly away from all that token stuff. So this is more about coins, cryptocurrency. So it's a cryptocurrency pegged against a stable asset. So stable coins. So this is a normal coin, so Dogecoin, Bitcoin, whatever it is. It goes up and down. That might be because of regulation. It might be because it's just new on the market. Some multimillionaire might have tweeted something that makes it go up and down. It is not stable. Okay, something like Tether is always a dollar. It is locked to the dollar. Dollar goes up, Tether goes up, dollar goes down. So why do you need this? Well, that person who bought like a pizza for 20 Bitcoin or whatever it was 20 years ago, whatever that is now, it's like half £500,000 spent on a pizza. It's like, oh, if only it was a dollar then and it's a dollar now. So it makes cryptocurrency usable for every day if it's always pegged to the dollar. And also it stops that volatility. You don't have to worry about it. A dollar is a dollar is a dollar. Your cryptocurrency is a dollar. Great. You can buy coffee for 3 cryptocurrency coins if your coffee is $3. Pounds as well. But how do you guarantee that it's actually going to be pegged to that? To go, well, you've got to back it. If you say I'm going to create 100 tokens, you can't just say it. You've actually got to have 100 quid, and you create a token out of each pound. And that's how that works. You've got to have the thing that you're creating tokens of. So it could be fiat, which is what as cool kids call cash. So normal money currency is fiat. So you've got to have the same amount of currency as you've got to have in your cryptocurrency. You've also got to have maybe commodity. So you've got to have oil tokens or gold tokens. You've got to actually hold gold or oil commodities to do that. Crypto, you just say, right, I've got a bunch of cash, I've got $1 million, I'm going to generate slug tokens. You've got to go, okay, I've got to actually have enough money to be the same as what my tokens are. And then you have this slightly weird one at the bottom, which is called an algorithmic stablecoin, where you have an evil twin, like a dark twin of this kind of algorithm. So with this thing that starts to go up, people start to really love it. You go, oh, it's going up, it's going to. So you have this other one which you drag down, and eventually it equals it out. That algorithm is quite sensitive. Recently, there's been a case of when it broke down and it all went crazy. So that was not great, but that's a stable coin. It is a commodity pegged to something stable. Okay, I think we're nearly there. No bingos yet. I think this is the last ball, so nobody shouts bingo. It is 14. I think the first bingo was here. Seriously, bingo? Fantastic, well done. Come and see me afterwards. Well done. Proud owner of a digital horse. It can be arranged. It's gas fee. There's a gas fee involved. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, excellent. Well done. Let's explain. What was that one? Oh, it'll tell me on the next slide there. 40. Oh, metaverse. Okay, the M word, what I want to end on. So this is an interoperable collection of virtual experiences. I'm aware there's been sessions today about the metaverse, so hopefully I don't contradict anything there. However, so the metaverse, very quickly, it is kind of a concept at the moment. It's a really grand plan. We are about here at the moment. It was sort of, we know what it should be, but it's really tough to actually make it work. There are 3 parts to it, generally considered. And if I've had a few gin and tonics, this is probably the story you'll get from me as well. Immersive worlds. So first of all, you need an immersive world. There are a bunch of them already. We've got, Sky Immersive, we've got Roblox, we've got Sims, Grand Theft Auto is an immersive world. We already have these things. They're fun to play. You can immerse yourself. You can live in them for a day, whatever. But they're not interoperable. So imagine if you could take one thing to the other. The weather in one was the same in the other. All that sort of stuff. Maybe, sorry about the illustration. You've got one avatar head in one and you want to take it into a horse racing game. Obviously only one of us in the room actually owns a digital horse at the moment. However, they're not interoperable at the moment, and likewise, they're not experiential. That's really the thing about this kind of virtual reality and metaverse. So if they're immersive, interoperable, and experiential, we're getting there. But just to say, we're kind of at the beginning of that. Okay. Breathe. Congratulations. We are now at the end. You are now qualified in Web3 bingo buzzwords. So let's just try that one again. Whoa, gas is crazy high right now. I'm waiting for POS to hit the Ethereum mainnet before launching my DeFi dApp. Okay, the congestion on the network is too expensive right now. I've been working on this DApp, this DeFi dApp for finance. It's probably going to go a load of transactions going on. It's not going to be profitable right now. I'm just going to wait until Ethereum moves to POS, right? Because it's POW at the moment. That makes sense. It's probably going to be November. Might even be January. Who knows? Oh, well, it makes sense. We slide along the bar. Great news, the new DAO smart contract rule passed, so now we get duplicate NFTs on our testnet as well as the mainnet, so we can now maybe do some playing with them because we're developers. We love that sort of stuff. And there you go. Well done. Hopefully I'm on time. I've got 2 minutes left. Who'd have thought? Thank you very much. That was great fun. Thank you to the machine as well.